So every once in a while, I have a project that's just almost perfect, like everything goes right and just looks stupid cool when it's done. This is one of those examples. It's like a heavy Bowie knife type blade, stacked leather handle, kind of like a K-bar. I've actually started cutting the grooves in it, which honestly now makes it to where when you go to swing it, it doesn't feel like it's gonna come out of your hand, which I've had issues with in the past. I've never had one come out of my hand, but it just feels like they're going to these stacked leather handles, which is probably why the military did that. But anyway, I've also never done where I kind of have like a pommel shape here. Again, it's just steel disc, this is still leather, but it gives it just a nice feel to it. Again, fake saw teeth, they're not sharp, but they look really cool. So, have them on there. If you haven't recognized it, this is actually the knife design from Borderlands. I think in the first game, which I've never played, I've been meaning to, just never have. One of the main characters carries this knife, but then the second game, whenever there's a character using a knife for anything or some knife lying around, it's that same knife design. So I took that and just kind of made my own, which is kind of like heavy Bowie knife style, like that, just that Rambo knife, but like instead of being long like the last one I made, it's beefy like a Bowie knife. So honestly, super cool knife, feels really good to use. I kind of want to go out and play with it a little more, but I've got stuff to do, so I'm going to, but not at the moment. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the video.
Okay, so I got the basic outline kind of forged out. I did sand the spine of it, of course, if it'll focus. Okay. It's sanded, so that way, you know, I can kind of get some measurements for the rest of it. I also sand the front out a little bit, just to kind of true everything up. I have it marked here. I'm going to cut / grind it out. And of course, I'm going to refine that a little bit. The one I'm basing off of actually narrows out quite a bit. Unlike most ones I make that are like narrow here and then widen out and then come to a point. This is just kind of straight out and then into a point. So kind of more like a combination of like a combat knife, but scaled up to a Bowie knife. So that's kind of what I'm making. I've been playing a lot of Borderlands. Okay. I love that game. And the tang, I made it a lot big just because it had way too much steel and I didn't feel like hammering on it for a while. So I kind of marked out just to take my grinder, cut, grind it, get it shaped. Hopefully it won't take too long. Sort of cut in some teeth in the spine. Perfectly useless, doesn't do anything, for the structure. But it looks hella cool, so I'm doing that. Okay, so I got my blade ground and sanded, got the saw teeth in. Again, completely useless, but they do look pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is forge the guard, or get the guard formed, before I go ahead and heat treat this. I have the guard made, just a piece of just mild steel, 1/4 inch thick by 1 inch. Drilled a couple 1/4 inch holes, same thickness of the blade. I don't know how I managed to get that exact, but I did. So now what I'm going to do, since I have the holes drilled out, going to take this sad excuse for the remainings of an angle grinder cutoff wheel and use them to cut out these 2 holes and kind of grind in a slot for the blade to fit down in just perfectly. Then once that's done, or close to done, I'm going to forge it down onto the tank to where it fits nice and snug. Or something. Okay, so I forgot to film a little bit, but I got the leather stacked on here. That's what I use for the handle. Just a bunch of leather squares cut out with a little notch cut in the center of them to fit down on the tang. Have a little metal disc here, nothing special. Just kind of cut out with a tapped in with the back of the tang, of course. Now I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my box cutter, just kind of trim up a little bit, do what I can, especially around the metal pieces, so that way I don't end up sanding it. Then I'll take my old little belt sander and shape it. Then I'm going to take whatever I can to put some grooves in it, like, you know, K-bars and a lot of modern bayonets have. And from there, I'll just give it a good stain and have myself a nice little knife.